A month ago, we disabled the comments on our YouTube channel. In the modern era of YouTube, that's tantamount to committing YouTube suicide. Since then, we've received a lot of comments and emails, some of them kindly requesting that the comments be enabled, but the rest of them are vulgar, hateful, and abusive. To help people understand why we turned the comments off, we created a little bit of a skit. It's not perfect. Now you'll see. It's generally understood that when you go to a restaurant, they'll have a restroom. If you went to a restaurant with no restroom, you'd be annoyed at the very least. Although the food is the reason people go to a restaurant, if they don't have the option to use a restroom, they get mad. If they eat your food, they're entitled to use your restroom. Video is the reason people come to YouTube. They also expect to be able to comment. They've eaten and now want the option to leave you a gift. Even if they don't need to leave you a gift or plan to leave their gift elsewhere, they are miffed if they don't have the option to leave a gift. Some folks go to restaurants just to use the bathroom. They don't plan to eat, they just want to use the toilet. And if there's no toilet, they get mad. Some folks come to YouTube just to read and engage with the comments. No comments to engage with, and they're mad. Whether they watch the video or not, they feel entitled to comment. There are two basic behavior types that use the restroom. Those that think of others, we'll call them unicorns. And those who crap on the walls, we'll call them marks. No, skid marks. Ironically, both groups expect a clean restroom. Neither group expects to have to clean the restroom. But every once in a while, a unicorn might see a paper towel on the floor and throw it away. The towel is from one of the skid marks. Both groups know that someone else is responsible to keep the restroom clean and tidy. When a unicorn comes to a dirty restroom, instead of cleaning it, they notify the person responsible, expecting it to be cleaned immediately. If it's too dirty, they'll just go to a different restaurant. When a skid mark comes to a clean restroom, they crap on the walls, don't flush, scratch their name on the wall, and leave the hot water running. When a unicorn sees the restroom is closed, and they've been going to this restaurant for a long time now, they assume it's likely just being cleaned. They might express their disappointment, but they're adults and they can find relief elsewhere. When a skid mark sees the restroom is closed or there's a line, they explode in a rage and begin screaming insults. You might be wondering what this has to do with the restroom being closed. The answer is nothing. They're just mad because the only reason a skid mark uses the restroom is to throw poop on the walls. And now they have nowhere to throw their poop. Instead, they go looking for other skid marks who are also mad. No, not throwing poop is not an option. Every once in a while, a unicorn might cross paths with a skid mark. But for all they know, the restroom is always clean. Everyone's wonderful. The evidence of skid marks has been removed, so they assume everyone's a unicorn. Unicorns just can't understand why a restroom would be permanently closed. We started our YouTube channel because we wanted to inspire people. And based on the awesome emails and comments and interactions that we've had with subscribers, we've achieved that. What we didn't really expect was for the channel to flourish, and it has. We're not sad that it did. It's been awesome. At one time, our channel was kind of like a small but beautiful house with one bathroom. We kind of knew everybody, the people that came and went. They were kind of the regulars. We had time to interact with them. The house was tidy, everything was clean, everybody got along. Life was pretty good. As the channel grew though, it's impossible to keep track of all the people that are coming and going. If you can try, imagine what it's like having 200,000 people come through your house every single day. We were super busy developing our property, building our house, working on the garden, doing all that stuff on top of shooting video. And I guess you could say that it got kind of dirty. A lot of our unicorns, our loyal subscribers noticed, and we would get emails like, hey, things are getting kind of nasty in the comments. Can you guys do something about that? Eventually, we slowed down. Winter came, kind of house build slowed down a little bit. We were tired, and that gave us the time to kind of start cleaning up this mess. Of course, that made the skid marks angry because we were banning them, moderating them, removing them, and well, they couldn't really throw their poop anymore. That's really the only way to get the restroom cleaned up, is to get rid of these people. Cleaning up after them just doesn't work. And our unicorns noticed. They're like, hey, look at this, the comments are getting better again. Only they weren't. We were spending a lot of our time cleaning them up. Unfortunately, just having kind of a tidy comment section didn't really make the unicorns happy, because they didn't just want a clean restroom, they wanted customer service. They wanted the interactions that they were used to having when the channel was a lot smaller, and there just wasn't time for that. We had just stopped responding to comments. It wasn't because we didn't want to, we just didn't have time. In fact, some of the worst skid marks, which by the way, some of which are other YouTube channels, would throw as much poop as they could, trying to create as much noise as they could to try to kind of capitalize on the success that our channel is having. Over time, we kind of got the comment section, the restroom cleaned up and nice and tidy again. But the unicorns, they're not happy. They kind of want things to be the way it used to be. Back when we published a video and they got to comment and things were constructive and we had a chance to create dialogue. They missed that. Unfortunately, as the channel gained popularity, the time that we had for that engagement basically became none. All the skid marks coming aboard, telling their friends and recruiting other skid marks kept us so busy dealing with the comments, keeping the restroom tidy, so that the regular viewers, the family-friendly unicorns, didn't have to see all this hateful, vulgar, violent, threatening speech. Unfortunately, YouTube welcomes skid marks. An ad impression from a unicorn, it's equal to the ad impression from a skid mark. Because of this, skid marks thrive on YouTube. They crap all over the walls and someone else has to clean it up. YouTube, though, is kind of like the bathroom police. If your bathroom gets too dirty, they take it away. So even though YouTube has a big fat welcome sign out for skid marks, they put the burden of keeping the bathroom clean, the comment section clean, on someone else. And because skid marks and unicorns don't really want to deal with it, it's really stuck to the channel to keep the comment section family friendly. So in the end, the community feel that we all love about YouTube, it doesn't exist, because if somebody is actually trying to maintain this family friendly channel and atmosphere, unfortunately, they're going to waste a lot of their time dealing with skid marks. So after dealing with this for about a year, we just decided to take a break. The unicorns were totally oblivious. We get a lot of emails that are like, yeah, why, turn the comments back on. We miss commenting. But what they don't understand is that behind the scenes, we're spending as much time keeping the comments clean and tidy as we are creating video and editing the same video. We can't just leave the restroom unattended, because it's just going to turn into the mess that it was before. So the only option we have is to turn the comments off. We never started our YouTube channel to spend our lives cleaning up a mess from people who don't care. As we mentioned, we want to inspire other people. And quite frankly, cleaning up skid mark comments on our channel to keep it family friendly, yeah, that's not going to inspire anybody. YouTube is well aware of this problem, but it doesn't hurt their bottom line, so why are they going to do anything about it? They have community standards and they have moderation tools in place, but they know that these tools and these community standards are a joke, and so do the skid marks. I think it goes without saying, because as we've demonstrated on other platforms, that we are passionate, one, about YouTube, and two, about the community. We actually engage with a lot of our regular followers on Facebook and Instagram. But what's different about those platforms is they actually allow us to ban people permanently and just get rid of them. Does that mean that skid marks don't still come? Oh, they come. And ironically, they come from YouTube. But at least we're able to kind of keep a tidy house so that we don't spend the majority of our time, every single time we post something, kind of tidying up. Instead, we actually have time to engage. And we're very appreciative that the people on those platforms most of the time are constructive and they add to the conversation, something we all kind of miss about YouTube. YouTube, on the other hand, just shrugs this stuff off. In fact, if we block or ban someone, all they have to do is change their shirt and change their hat, and YouTube's like, hey, you're new around here. And away they go, throwing poop. I think the truth here, as hard as it is to swallow, is that YouTube doesn't care about the community. They care about profits. They're a corporation. That's what they do. They create a comment section, but they don't really care about maintaining it. It's just about creating profits. Ask any channel that's of any moderate size at all why they started their channel, and they'll almost all say the same thing. They love creating video, they want to teach something, share something, or inspire other people to do something. And yet most everyone, not everybody, but most everybody who gets a channel of any size at some point becomes a janitor. If they care about their channel at all, they spend more time cleaning up a mess than they do creating the very reason that they started their channel in the first place. YouTube recently had to kind of fess up. Now, they've dealt with this more than once in the past, but recently there was a particularly pronounced event that forced YouTube to acknowledge that they're not dealing with this problem, even though people have complained and shown gross examples of the community abusing the guidelines and the moderation tools and all those things. But recently, a child predator ring, or whatever they're called, was exploiting an algorithm known as the recommended algorithm. So when you watch a video and then YouTube recommends another video for you based on whatever you're watching, this group of child predators, or whatever they are, was exploiting this in the comments section. Interestingly, the videos that they were commenting on were very family friendly. Nothing wrong with the content, nothing wrong with the channel. But these people were using the comment section to promote a connection between these videos so that child predators could actually go from one video to the next very streamlined with very little effort. Well, as you can imagine, that didn't go over very well with the advertisers. So YouTube did a knee-jerk reaction, and they didn't just delete the comments of these child predators. That would be too easy. They actually turned off the comments from these channels. They didn't give them a choice, they just turned them off. And they deleted certain videos, and are you ready for this? They deleted entire channels, just gone. Who cares if it's your livelihood? Who cares how invested you are? Who cares how much you've put into YouTube? You're not worth it. That sent a really strong message to channels and to creators about YouTube's position on this issue. If you're hurting their bottom line, they don't really care why. You're gone. And at the end of the day, it's the advertisers who are kind of pushing YouTube to make these decisions. So really, YouTube admitted that they haven't created a system or a tool that keeps these things from happening. And why would they? Until it either makes them money or costs them money, YouTube is just going to keep turning a blind eye. Ironically, the standards for creators or channels are extremely rigid. They have a 3-strike system, and if you get 3 strikes, see ya, channel's toast. But the standards for the community, I don't know, maybe they're just ink on paper. They don't seem to have any effect whatsoever. In fact, the community seems to be able to do pretty much anything they want all the time, forever, and YouTube's like, hey, good job, thanks for being a part of YouTube, come on back. Only when the advertisers start pulling at the purse strings of YouTube do they take action. There's been a couple of instances on YouTube that they call adpocalypses. And these are times when advertisers become aware of a situation on YouTube that doesn't really represent their brand well. And so they pull their advertising. Well, that hurts YouTube's revenue, and so suddenly YouTube seems to be at this big giant and they dedicate all these resources to making the advertisers happy. But who cares about the community? While YouTube does have some standards that you're not allowed to upload, like you can't kill someone on camera, and they don't think that rape is very funny, ironically, if you look through the standards for what YouTube allows you to upload, it's pretty ridiculous. But when it comes to the community standards, anything goes. I know you're thinking, gosh, it would just seem easier if YouTube would kind of be proactive about this stuff and maybe make it easier to keep the community tidy. I mean, after all, other platforms seem to be able to do this because they seem to care about their users, which ironically create the revenue that creates the business, but nope, not YouTube. They're the black sheep. Well, you either agree or disagree with our skit and our analogy. So let's say you agree. What can you do about it? Well, if there's a channel that you love, maybe they've become successful, and you see that the skid marks are taking over, maybe share this video with them with some words of encouragement, and realize this isn't why they started their YouTube channel. Another thing you could do is leave this video playing. YouTube actually has a loop feature, and if you turn this video on with a loop, it will actually increase the view count. And YouTube just might promote this video so that more people will see it. And of course, if you see a skid mark and you think there's a chance maybe they might change their mind, you could always share this video in a comment. If you're a creator or a channel who's been blessed with a prosperous channel and you feel like you've kind of lost your mojo, maybe you feel like you've become a janitor instead of a creator, don't hesitate to turn the comments off, even if it's just for a little while. Take a break, get your mojo back. Your loyal subscribers, they're gonna stick around, don't worry. You're gonna lose some views, but do you really want skid mark views anyway? If you're a channel who encourages or embraces skid marks, shame on you. Maybe when the advertisers get wise and they realize how much brand damage is being done by having their advertising shown against comment sections that would get any channel, any creator banned, maybe your channel, it'll be the first to go and you won't be missed. Thank you to everyone who watched this video and has been making a positive contribution to this channel. Long live YouTube. All right, are you guys ready to play a really fun game? We left the comments on for this video. See if you can figure out who's a unicorn and who's a mark. Go. Do shoot here, don't shoot here, and don't shoot here.
Yep.
Okay, right here. You're ready.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Whoops.
Oopsie. Apparently I pushed too hard.
Well, that sucks.
Gross. Hold on. All right, I'll get another one.